Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Hughes, Senior Product Designer for Import. And today I'll be walking you through what we've done up to this point, as well as what we plan on, what we want to iterate on. So the mission of the importers category is to provide a great experience for importing from other applications in our customers' DevOps tool chains. Thereby removing friction for migrating to GitLab and creating a great first impression. So our goal is to build importers that our customers find valuable. So offering importers for the main competitors are crucial, and having those experience on point is important. Reliable, so our importers don't always succeed, and when they fail, there's little guidance for the user on steps they can take to remedy the failure. So we need to make sure our importers are reliable for our customers, so they have confidence in the migration process. Easy to use. So the current importer flow is hard to discover and not always where the users expect to find it. In general, the user experience isn't always user-friendly. So making these improvements will inevitably make our importers more lovable. So now I want to talk a little bit about the project import MVC update. So from what I mentioned in the previous Manage UX Showcase presentation, we did user testing and received positive feedback from users on the new experience. And we're excited to launch this in the upcoming milestone. We have wrapped up the AV experiment, and unfortunately, it didn't go as well as we had hoped because we couldn't accurately measure the user interactions with both environments, current and new experience. So basically, it was set up to compare apples to oranges as opposed to apples. And what's cool is Philip gave us a positive review. He had a nice tweet for us. Next is iterating on the project import MVC. So first up is canceling project imports. We've heard from our users that they would like the ability to cancel imports. And really, this is a UX necessity in this case. New functionality allows the user to cancel single imports as well as multiple. And also, if you notice throughout the presentation, I've included links that are associated with the issues and the epics, and they're typically at the bottom. So next is the history of project imports. So users can view the history of their imports from all collected sources. So currently, the user is able to view project import history of a single source. And this experience is limiting if a user wants to see a list of all of their aggregated imported projects. So in this instance, it requires a lot of switching between sources if there are many. So we're creating kind of a one place for a user to go in to see and again, all of the projects that they've imported from various sources. We also want to standardize project import UX. So we have 9 import sources, and most of them have different user experiences. I've kind of pulled out some drastic ones here. So, and, you know, while our main focus is on Bitbucket and GitHub, as those are the most used import sources, we still need to consider, you know, the experience for the remaining importers. So once we nail down the experience for GitHub and Bitbucket, it will then kind of trickle down to the remaining importers. So that's coming up in the future. Next, I want to talk about group imports. So for the group migration MVC, we want to create a one-stop shop for migrating all or parts of a GitLab instance. Select a group and start a one-click migration. So this solution would allow migration of a group project and user data. So to the left, you see the existing functionality. You can only upload an exported GitLab group file. The user must export a group file and then upload it here. So once they do so, they wait until they receive an email with a link to their newly migrated GitLab group. So to the right, the improvement that we've made, we've added new functionality of simply copy and pasting the URL of the group to be migrated, as well as copy and pasted the personal access token, making it much more easy, much more convenient. For the group migration MVC experience, I have laid this out and I'm going to walk you through it, through the experience. So user navigates to the new group link in the main top level navigation, lands on the new group creation page, and they learn about the instructions on how to migrate a group. And then they have to go to settings to copy their personal access token. And then perhaps they need to go to their group they wish to import and copy the URL. After pasting all the information, they click to connect instance, and then they are taken directly to the import groups page where they are able to see the imports happening in real time, which is really cool. Once the group has been imported, they're able to click the new group link, and then that will take them to their newly created group page. So for the group MVC, we've satisfied everything to the left under the proposed MVC. What was out of scope and planned for the future is the ability to select multiple groups for migration. Search/filter for the group list. So adding just the search capability. We want to see the entire tree and be able to cherry pick what you want to import. So instead of just importing a single group and all of the contents, we'd like to, have a tree that they're able to, select and again cherry pick whichever they want to migrate. And then last is migrate only the epics for that group tree. So post group import MVC, we plan on mirroring the same experience as project imports. Cancel group imports, view history of imported groups, and just to create a similar user flow to project imports. So as you can see on the right, we have import projects, and we're using kind of a large button style, which then directs you to the particular new project creation page, or import in this case. Import group, we want to do the same thing. So get rid of the tabs that typically people kind of gloss over and they don't really see, and create, again, a better user experience. So we're going to test the group import experience with end users. So we're going to conduct user testing to determine, are users able to confidently import their GitLab groups from one instance to another without having any trouble? And of course, we'll know if we need to do a deeper dive research effort if anything does come up. Next, and this is one that I'm personally really excited about, is discoverability of groups and projects. So we want to introduce new navigation and test which performs best. So you see at the top, we have our current navigation. In the plus icon, to hover over it, you get the new tooltip. So discoverability is a little difficult. So what we're introducing is adding navigation under the groups and projects navigation item in the top nav bar. Our hypothesis is that discoverability of the project and group in creations will improve. And really this stems from some users that we tested the project creation flow when I directed them to import a project. some of their initial thought was to go up to the project dropdown in the main navigation. And then they realized that it wasn't, once they realized it wasn't there, that's when they moved over to the plus icon. So just to recap, the new functionality we're adding, the ability to import groups using a URL, as well as in addition to the current experience of exporting and importing a file. The ability to cancel imports in progress, and the ability to view import history. So those are the big ones. We're also going to do some UI polishes. So we've created separate issues under the import love epic. And these issues are intentionally small and are planned for after the MVC is released. And feedback and validation. An issue to validate the group migration MVC to test with actual users has been created. So we are planning to do so. And that is it. So thank you all for your time. And for more information, go ahead and check out the category direction page. And of course, Slack us if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts. Thank you.